This is a KMVT Sports presentation.
KMVT Channel 6 Sports bringing you high school baseball. The Santa Clara Valley El Camino Division season rolls on. The Los Altos Eagles and the Mountain View Spartans today. And a 1-1 count now on Victor Abruzzo as we get things rolling, leading things off for Los Altos. Andre Polizzi along with Paul Cunningham. And a cloudy gray day. We've had a few sprinkles to start off, but nothing that's going to get in the way of this ball game. There's a called strike two as Abruzzo not too anxious to pull the bat around on any of those first three pitches. He's behind now 1-2 against Mark O'Hara, the starting pitcher today for the Mountain View Spartans. He fires up high, 2-2. We'll get Paul Cunningham's thoughts on Mark O'Hara in just a moment. We've seen Mark a lot this year on KMVT. Seems to have pitched just about every division game that Mountain View's been in on TV this year.
Seems that way. Absolutely. Mark has done a Mark's a very good pitcher, probably obviously the ace of the staff for Mountain View, but the type of pitcher that if you're going to get to him, you better jump on him early because he has a tendency to have a tough time in the first and second innings and then settle down.
Well, not the best of starts here. A 1-2 count winds up being ball four, and Abruzzo draws a base on balls to start the game. That'll bring up Jamie Nolte, and this may be one of those days where the ball a little slippery and O'Hara will have to concentrate on keeping it dried off so those pitches don't sail around. Snap throw to first. Ian Rutherford is over there today holding the runner on. Victor Abruzzo, the opening batter, now the opening base runner. Nolte, left-handed hitting shortstop, and another throw over to first by O'Hara, but that one just to keep Abruzzo's attention, just a soft toss. Just underway here at Mountain View High School, the 10-7 Eagles against the 5-8 Spartans. We'll get a chance to talk about the El Camino Division standings a little bit later on. Ball going back, and Abruzzo has second base stolen easily. He was running with the pitch, so we will give him credit for a stolen base. 0-1 now on Jamie Nolte.
Oh, Nolte took a swing to go ahead and protect the runner. Just ticked off A.J. Santana's glove to the backstop, so Abruzzo got in there very easily.
It did look like he got a pretty good jump, though, so we will credit him for a stolen base. O'Hara throws, and there's a called strike two on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes on Jamie Nolte.
Nice curveball by O'Hara. Nice to see that working early on in the game.
O'Hara working on the stretch. Throws up high. That one sailed on him. 1-2. Mentioned Ian Rutherford at first and A.J. Santana behind the plate. At second base, Martin Corpus. At shortstop is Ashley, and at third is James Richter. A roller to the right side, and Ian Rutherford takes it to the bag for the out. 3 unassisted, 1 away. Runner moves over to third with 1 out.
Well, another curveball there by Mark O'Hara induced a ground ball straight to Ian Rutherford. He did a nice job getting over there to first base, advancing the runner. Nolte is along, advances Abruzzo over to third base, brings up Casey Lopez, basically the franchise player for Los Altos, an outstanding hitter. He's had a great year so far for Los Altos.
They plug him right in there in the number 3 spot in the batting order. And the plan when you do that is to have one of those guys get on base ahead of you and get around into scoring position, and that's where Victor Abruzzo is right now. He's on third with less than 2 outs. In this case, 1 out. There's a ball up high to Casey Lopez, 1-0.
Well, and you don't want to come in high with a fastball to Casey Lopez because he can quickly deposit it over the left field fence.
There's a ground ball left side and past to diving shortstop Chris Ashley. That's the first hit of the ball game, and Los Altos on the board first, 1-0. A base hit and an RBI for Casey Lopez. Here's another look at this ground single. Nicely done.
Nice shot, just hit it very, very hard. He's been making solid contact the last few weeks. We've had a few of the Los Altos games on KMVT, and Lopez continues to swing a hot bat.
That brings up Grant Curry, the DH, in the cleanup spot. You see Grant, number 36, stepping in. First pitch to him is driven down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Round second, on his way to third is Lopez. Streamlining into second with a double is Grant Curry. Runners on second and third now with 1 out and 1-0 Los Altos still.
Well, O'Hara started up with a fastball, and he came in high. It was about letter high, and Corey, here's the replay, who's also been swinging a very hot bat for Los Altos, drills it down the left field line. Casey Lopez never had any doubts about stopping at second base. He was on his way to third from the crack of the bat, which allowed Corey to advance to second base with a double. So second and third now with 1 out.
These two teams have already played once this year, and it was a run scoring special. A ball up high to Ben Wilson, 1-0. 30 runs scored in that first game between the two. 14 of them by Los Altos, but unfortunately for the Eagles, Mountain View scored 16. And a wild slugfest won by the Spartans that day, 16-14. Mountain View scored 7 runs in the second inning. Los Altos had 6 in the 6th. So perhaps a preview of that already early today. Mark O'Hara snares this one, and now he's got the runner Lopez hung up. Hands it off to Santana, and Santana makes the tag. O'Hara doing a good job of running right at Casey Lopez and kind of following close behind him until he could keep up with him no more and had to throw it off. And that's exactly what you want to do in a hot box play, is go right at the runner.
Well, absolutely. There was a moment of hesitation here on O'Hara's part. Here's the replay. It was a one hopper right back to him at the mound. A little confused by Lopez, thought about first base for a second, then realized he had Lopez hung out to dry. Got the ball into A.J. Santana. Lopez gave himself up, just giving Wilson enough time to get down to second base. Good job by Lopez, staying in there as long as he could so the runners could advance to second and third.
A fielder's choice allowing Wilson to reach. Here's a strike on the inside corner, Ricky Pearson. 0-1. Wilson now on second. He gets second base during the play. That's all that he gets. It's not like a stolen base or anything. That's not the way scoring systems work. Grant Corey moves over to third on the fielder's choice. Ball up high to Pearson, 1-1. The rest of the Los Altos lineup, Tino Wingate would be next, the catcher. Blaine Johnson, the second baseman, hits 8th, and Dino Quintero, the center fielder, hits 9th. O'Hara's 1-1 is on the outside corner, 1-2 against Ricky Pearson. The Mountain View outfield today. Danny Vardy in left, Alan Henley in center, Ryan McCarthy in right. And a swing and a miss, and O'Hara is out of the jam here in the first inning, but a little bit of damage done. First strike for Los Altos, 1 run and 2 hits in the inning, 2 runners left on base. Middle of the first at Mountain View, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Well, the umbrellas have come down for now. The rain started to sprinkle a little bit at the start of game time, but the lightly gray clouds up overhead not making too much noise. And there's Daniel Chavez, today's pitcher for Los Altos, and he will be facing a first 3 of Alan Henley, James Richter, and Mark O'Hara to start things off for Mountain View. The Spartans down in the hole, 1-0. Alan Henley has really settled into a starting outfield job, battling with his bat into the leadoff spot. Most recently, after hitting in the lower part of the lineup and then second. And now he's banging the leadoff spot, takes a strike from Daniel Chavez, 0-1. A foul by Henley, 0-2, and you saw the Los Altos pitcher deal with Lindbrook last week and pitched pretty well, even though he gave up a grand slam, huh?
Well, Daniel Chavez did an outstanding job last week. He was really on. His curveball was working. He's got nice velocity on his fastball. I'll tell you, I saw him when he was a 13, 14-year-old player trying out for Babe Ruth, and he struggled. He has improved as much as any player I've seen in the last few years come through, Babe Ruth and into high school. He's really turned himself into a pretty good pitcher.
Outside with that one, and is now 1-2. Henley be followed by James Richter and Mark O'Hara, the opposing pitcher today. The Eagles got to O'Hara for a run in the top half of the first frame. 1-2 on the inside corner, good pitch. Daniel threw that one well. Henley wasn't expecting that throw, and he is out on strikes.
Well, he's got a real nice overhand curveball that just breaks, almost off a table for him. He doesn't really come across with it. He really makes it break down, and it's a very effective pitch for him.
Here's James Richter. And a strike at the knees, 0-1. Ian Rutherford hitting 4th today. Danny Vardy hitting 5th. AJ Santana hitting 6th. Foul, looked like that one hit right in the batter's box. And it's 0-2.
I think a lot of Chavez's improvement might have to do with Sandy Whittle, the coach over there this year too. Los Altos struggled a little bit with coaching last year. They lost their coach about halfway through the season. Sandy Whittle has come in and done a real stabilizing effect. You're doing a real nice job at Los Altos.
A ball low. That moves the count to 1-2. Both coaches really battling this year for these two clubs. Los Altos has battled to a 10-7 record for their coach. Here's a swinging strike 3 on James Richter. 2 strikeouts for Chavez right out of the chute. And that will bring up pitcher Mark O'Hara. But just getting back to what we were saying, Jim McGurk also has his club battling to a 5-8 record, and some games that they definitely could have won. Could have been 8-5 perhaps.
Absolutely, McGurk has to be enjoying this year. He's done a real good job with his ball club, him and his coaching staff, and they've been very successful here in the league.
A strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Eric Cordero, the DH, hitting 7th today. The right fielder McCarthy hitting 8th and Ashley hitting 9th, but it's just going to be 3 batters here in the bottom of the first. A 1-2-3 inning as O'Hara grounds out 4-3. Nothing across for the Spartans in the bottom of the first. End of 1 at Mountain View High School. 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Los Altos with a 1-0 lead. That makes their coach Sandy Whitall happy. The Los Altos head coach over there in the third base coaching box as we begin the top of the second, and leading off, taking a strike, is Tino Wingate, the catcher, 0-1. Wingate, Blaine Johnson, Dino Quintero. Ball up high, 1-1. There's Jim McGurk. We're talking about his 5-8 club this year. A couple of games really close. Easily could be 8-5 instead of 5-8. Sometimes the ball just doesn't always bounce your way. High fly ball, medium deep center field. Henley started in. Now he's forced to go back. He misjudged that one, and it's going to roll to the fence, and a double for Tino Wingate. It looked like Alan Henley thought that one wasn't hit as hard as it really was, and he took a couple steps in and then realized, uh-oh, I better go back.
Well, on a day like this, it's kind of humid. You don't expect the ball to carry very much. And, his first reaction was, and here's the pitch. It was up in the strike zone. Wingate swings at one at his shoulders, and as you say, it kind of froze Henley there for a second, and then he broke back a little late on it, got over his head, and Wingate's in with a stand-up double.
Third hit for the Eagles. Here's Blaine Johnson, second baseman, fouls one off. Doug Hong, the home plate umpire today, throws out a baseball to Mark O'Hara. I believe that one ball lasted through the whole first inning. Sometimes these games at the high school level, you see so many foul balls that they have to go recycle the ones that are hit foul, and you have to stop and wait for one of them to be returned to the field. A swing and a miss by Johnson, 0-2.
Well, O'Hara's got to come down with these pitches. He's still coming in, above the belt, and that's hitter's territory.
Martin Corpus keeps kicking up the dirt out there behind second base. Good thing it's not that windy today. That stuff would be blowing all over the place. There you see it. Thanks to our camera crew for that shot. High fly ball left field. This one carrying well. And the catch made out in left by Danny Vardy. Vardy tracked that one, didn't let it get over his head. And there is one out.
Johnson gave it a pretty good ride. Vardy got a pretty good jump on it, got back there, coasted back at the end to make the catch, and Wingate didn't tag, so still a runner on second base with one out.
Here is the number 9 hitter, Dino Quintero, the center fielder. Quintero name, of course, practically synonymous with the name Los Altos High School. A ball up high to Dino, 1-0. A couple of Dino's sisters, former Los Altos players, now at San Jose State. Of course, talking about Sabrina and Valerie. Ball up high to Dino, 2-0. And his sister Samantha, a freshman over there, and playing for the softball team, played for the basketball team, which Bernie coached this year.
Well, there's not a bad athlete in the group.
No. Can you imagine the competition, though? Our team won today. Did your team win? Hey, Dad, did your team win? You know? What about Mom? (2-0). Bounced left field, base hit. That one went right between the third baseman and the shortstop. Put that one perfectly in the hole. And that is the 4th hit for the Eagles. Tino Wingate moving over to third, and Dino Quintero on this base hit.
Well, you're exactly right, Andre. It's just perfectly placed right between short and third. Vardy was charging all the way on that to keep Wingate from having any thoughts of coming home, and that puts runners at the corners with one out.
Top of the order now, left fielder Victor Ambruzzo. He opened up the ball game by battling back from 1-2 to draw a walk, and he eventually came around to score on a Casey Lopez base hit. 1-0 Eagles. Eagles looking for more. A soft liner to short, could be a double play. The throw is in time. Doubled off of third, Tino Wingate. He got caught. We'll get a look at it here and again in a second, but the inning does come to an end. A mistake by Tino Wingate. Got caught on this soft liner.
Well, and you gotta freeze on a line drive until it gets past the infield. Wingate did not do that. Ashley with the nice play and throws over to third base to James Richter for the third out.
No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. End of 1.5 at Mountain View High School. Eagles on top, 1-0. Well, the Eagles off to a good start this year, 10-7 overall, and a 1-0 lead here today. There you see the El Camino Division standings, and Los Altos 4-6 in league, Mountain View 5-5. Those two teams sitting in the middle of the pack. A pretty good gun team, 7-4. You were talking a little bit about Lindbrook earlier, Paul, and a pretty tight pack this year in the El Camino Division. Nobody worse than 3 games off the pace.
It's anybody's race so far, Andre.
Ian Rutherford to lead off for Mountain View. First baseman steps in. First pitch from Chavez popped up.
Trouble.
Short left. Incoming Ambruzzo. Victor Ambruzzo tracks it down for the out. That one looked like it might get into no man's land, but Jamie Nolte and Victor Ambruzzo made a play on it. Ambruzzo took charge of the situation and handled it.
Well, Ambruzzo has outstanding speed out in left field, and he had to use all of it to get in there to make that play, because that was headed for no man's land, Andre, and he did a nice job getting in there to get the ball.
Did a good job, and here is Danny Vardy. Vardy handled a deep chance in the top half of this frame. Swings and misses at this one, 0-1, and Chavez has been pretty dominant on the first 4 hitters. He's gotten a ground out, a fly out, and 2 Ks. 1-1 now. AJ Santana will hit next. Eric Cordero after that. Ryan McCarthy if we get that far. And then Chris Ashley, the shortstop's batting 9th today. That hit him, barely, but it got a piece of Danny Vardy, and he is awarded first base. Didn't look like Vardy had to move too much. That one just took a little chunk out of him. Here's another look. Can't really see it there.
Well, the ump's in position. I guess he made the right call. I didn't hear anything.
I heard more mitt than anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Home plate umpire, though, Doug Hong, making the call, hit by pitch, and we move on to A.J. Santana with Mountain View's first runner of the game on base. A.J. steps out, calls time, and we'll start over. Runner goes, pitch high, throw to second in plenty of time, and out. On a throw of 2-4 is Danny Vardy, and Vardy did not get that good a jump, and that was a perfect pitch for Los Altos catcher Tino Wingate to throw on.
There's the replay. You see Vardy just coming into the corner of the picture on his way to second base. It's a sweeping tag from Blaine Johnson down there at second, and nice throw by Wingate.
You know, he's still got him considering he threw it to the wrong side of the bag, which tells you he has a strong arm to get it down there quickly and that he got a good pitch to throw on and that Vardy just didn't have that good a jump that time. Vardy does have pretty good speed, though.
Yes, he does.
But that time, not that good a jump, and you need those to steal those bases, especially on a fastball. There's a strike to Santana. Count moves now to 2-1. A little bit of sun coming out now at Mountain View High School. Ball 3. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Nobody on, and 1-0 Eagles. Los Altos a couple chances to pick up some runs, but base running error and a good double play conspired to stop that. Well, you saw what happened there. A simple ground out, not off the part of the bat you want to hit it. And Mountain View comes away with nothing here in the second. After 2 at MVHS, 1-0 Eagles. Third inning set to begin. A couple of guys hanging out, I guess you could say. Here is Jamie Nolte, and he takes a ball inside from Mark O'Hara, 1-0. Nolte, Lopez, and Corey here in the top of the third, 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Another high pitch, and you were talking about that earlier, Paul. He keeps getting those balls up high. Sooner or later, somebody's going to like one of those and really tag it.
Well, I think AJ's going to come out here and tell him something like that too. He's he's struggling a little bit high, and then this Los Altos team is a good hitting ball club. You come in high to them, they're gonna jump on that pitch.
Isn't it better in baseball to miss low if you're going to miss with a pitch than to miss high? Because you hit it on the ground, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You want as many ground balls as you can get. You don't want to come in high and have them start hitting line drives.
2-0. A.J. Santana back from his visit. That one missed a little bit low. He brought it down, but down a little too far. 3 balls, no strikes. Taking all the way, Jamie Nolte takes a strike. 3-1.
I guarantee he won't let that pitch go by again if he sees it.
Well, then again, maybe he will.
Then again, you know, you just never should predict, should you, Andre?
That's why it's called a prediction, because it's not always right. 3-2 now. Nolte grounded out to first his previous time up. Did move the base runner Abruzzo over to third, and that was key because Lopez then brought him in with a single, although he would have come in anyway on the Curry double. But nonetheless, Nolte had a hand in that first Eagles run. 3-2 again following the foul ball. And a called strike 3. Mark O'Hara battles back this time. Down 3-0. And comes back to get Nolte for his second strikeout of the game. Here is Casey Lopez, who got that single that drove in the only run of the ball game so far. 1 out in the third. Los Altos on top and batting. A strike to Lopez. 0-1.
Lopez doesn't completely agree with that, but Han's been consistent there all game. He's calling it. That's the spot he's calling at the knees.
A ground ball to third. 5-3 put out completed. Chris Ashley to Ian Rutherford. Actually, not Chris Ashley. That is James Richter. James Richter to Ian Rutherford. 2 down, and that will bring up Grant Curry. O'Hara retiring 4 of the last 5 he's faced, and 5 of the last 7.
Well, this is usually about the time he starts to get into a groove, and if he does, he'll coast for the next few innings without giving up much to anybody.
A strike to Curry, 0-1. He doubled his first time up. Los Altos had a couple of chances. They had second and third with a couple of outs in the first and a couple runners on also in the second, but nothing came of either of those, and they get nothing here in the third. 1-2-3, retired by Mark O'Hara. Middle of the third inning, and the Spartans coming up down 1-0. Well, the Spartans will try and get something started here in the third with designated hitter Eric Cordero leading things off. Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Ryan McCarthy will bat second, and Chris Ashley, the number 9 hitter, hits third this inning. There's a high ball from Chavez, 2-0 now. Eagles looking a little bit like the LA Dodgers in their road uniforms here today. There's a strike to Cordero, 2-1. If the numbers on all of the Eagles uniforms were blue in the back, you'd almost have an exact match if it said Dodgers on it. LA hats and everything. A ground ball to third, and that is handled by Lopez. 1 out here in the third, and Chavez not yet given up a hit. He's hit one guy, but that guy was retired trying to steal, so he's faced the minimum number of hitters and set down 6 of the 7. That high arching swing can only mean one thing. Ryan McCarthy's up, and he takes a ball, 1-0. McCarthy really likes to get that bat up above his head and just whirl it around. Slow roller left side. Lopez another chance, and he makes this one look too easy. Good play by Casey Lopez. 5-3 again, 2 away.
Well, and Chavez just continues to cruise here in the third inning, pitching very effectively again for Los Altos.
Well, if you're a fan of the Eagles, you'd like to see his club get him a couple more runs and let him work with that. And if you're the Spartans, you'd like to see something started here with Chris Ashley. Ashley, the shortstop, up. First pitch to him is low and inside, 1-0. The Eagles DHing for Chavez today, and the Spartans DHing for Martin Corpus, the second baseman. Fly ball, shallow right. In to make the play, Ricky Pearson, and the side is retired. 8 of 9 retired by Daniel Chavez, including the last 4 in a row and all 3 in the third. There you see the line score at the end of 3 at MVHS, 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Well, 3 of the fastest KMVT innings on record. We move to the 4th, and a high fly ball, fairly deep left field, but Danny Vardy has a beat on it and makes the catch to retire Ben Wilson, starting the 4th. And that is out number 1 in the inning. And Mark O'Hara in a groove himself, 5 in a row retired, 6 of 7, and 7 of 9. Here is Ricky Pearson, and he launches one foul out of play. Ricky, a strikeout victim in the first inning. Tino Wingate will hit next. We're in the 4th inning. A very fast first 3 1/3. And another foul off behind the Mountain View dugout, 0-2.
Well, Pearson slapping at those first 2 pitches out of the strike zone and knocking them foul. Not being real patient up there. O'Hara's coming a little bit high to the left-hander, but jumps ahead 0-2.
That's kind of how I bat on my recreational softball team, kind of swinging that chop swing that In softball, they call a slap. Gets his arms a little more extended on this one and hits one into left center field. A base hit for Ricky Pearson, the 5th hit for Los Altos. And that will bring up Tino Wingate, who hit a double his last time up. And there you see him getting those arms a little more extended that time, Paul, and he was able to fight it off into left center.
Well, he was going opposite field all the way on all 3 pitches, and finally he got one a little bit more to his liking and slapped it out over shortstop Ashley's head into left field for a base hit.
Tino Wingate off to a good start in this game as Mark O'Hara throws over to first. Wingate a double. He's also thrown out a base stealer. Runner goes, first pitch, inside. Santana couldn't get it out of his glove, and a runner in with a stolen base. Ricky Pearson now in scoring position.
Well, that was a nice pitch to go ahead and throw down to second. AJ just had a tough time getting it out of his glove. It was a fastball inside, got the runner out of the way, the batter out of the way, so he wouldn't swing, and AJ just couldn't find the handle out of his glove to make the throw down to second.
Wingate fouls this one back, just got a piece of that. 1-1. Blaine Johnson next. After that, Dino Quintero. Eagles with 2 hits in each of the first 2 innings, but could only plate 1 run in those 2 innings. And retired in order in the 3rd. Wingate a little late on that one as O'Hara changed him up and had him way out in front, 1-2. There you see Tino Wingate goes after this one. Bouncer to third, play made on that by James Richter. That is the 2nd out of the inning, and the runner not able to advance. As Richter did the smart thing, Paul, he stopped for a second, he looked the runner back, and then he made the play to first as he took his time and was able to get a slower player, Tino Wingate.
You're absolutely right, Andre. Real nice play there by Richter.
Here's Blaine Johnson, flied out to left his previous time up. Fouls one back, strike 1.
Well, he fished it one out of the strike zone there. A little anxious. He wants to, anything up there in the strike zone, he's taking a hack at above the belt, hoping to get a base hit to drive home the 2nd run.
Sun has disappeared behind the clouds again. Been doing that most of the day, in and out. A 1 pitch, right down the middle. Blaine Johnson may not see a better pitch than that. 0-2. That was a hitter's pitch. Both pitchers today are seniors. The Mountain View senior throws one outside, 1-2. Off of second, Ricky Pearson, he singled and stole second. Corpus holding him on briefly, but moves off, and now time called by Blaine Johnson, so no pitch.
Boy, he just called time on that in time, too, because that was real close to O'Hara starting his windup, and that was a real late timeout call.
Well, sometimes the ump doesn't have to give it to him, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
He could have called strike 3 if that was down the middle and he didn't give him time. Blaine Johnson wouldn't have liked that. He's not going to like grounding out to third. Another good play by James Richter. Both third basemen making good putouts. Casey Lopez had some earlier, and now James Richter with a couple of gems in the top of the 4th. 1 runner left, 1 hit in the top half of the 4th inning, and there you see the score as we move to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 in favor of the Eagles. Well, what better way to start a rally than the top of the order, and somebody out doing a little groundskeeping, I guess you could call it, since we're at a baseball game. Out behind the fence, Alan Henley takes a ball outside, 1-0.
I guess this is the time to do the spring planting and just trimming those bushes back.
Well, if you're going to get some rain in the next couple days, you can have it planted and get it watered right away. Henley takes one low, 2-0. Alan Henley took a called third strike, opening the Mountain View batting today. And just getting up for the second time here in the fourth. No hits so far against Daniel Chavez. Only one runner's reached base. And Danny Vardy, after being hit by that pitch, was thrown out trying to steal. 3-0 now. James Richter next, Mark O'Hara after that. If we get that far, Ian Rutherford, and the Spartans would like us to get that far. They're down 1-0. Henley taking all the way, 3-1.
Boy, that just caught the strikes, and that looked like it was a little bit up. And Henley doing the smart thing there, 3-0. You need base runners. Took the pitch.
Chavez has not walked anybody, but he has hit a batter. And he's walked somebody now, change that number. Just the second Mountain View base runner. And here is James Richter to try and get him around.
Well, and Richter's an excellent bunter here, too. I wouldn't be surprised to see if maybe they lay one down to try to advance Henley to second to give O'Hara a chance to tie this game up.
Jim McGurk likes the bunt. Matter of fact, he likes the squeeze and the suicide squeeze, too. Base hit left field. James Richter with the first Spartan hit of the game. And Mountain View, multiple base runners for the first time today. First and second, nobody out.
Nice job by Richter. Once again, we're not going to try to predict things anymore, but real nice piece of hitting. First pitch swinging at the fastball and just drilled it into left field for a base hit.
That was a good projection, though, because we've seen times this year where McGurk has won ball games in the bottom of the last inning by bunting.
Sure.
Suicide squeezes. He's played for one run before. In a situation where it's 1-0, you're likely to think he's going to try and get that run around, potential run around, against a pitcher who's pitching pretty well.
Absolutely.
But what the heck, he swung away.
That's hit well.
Speaking of swinging away, a drive, fairly deep right field. So far, as a matter of fact, that it's gone for a Mark O'Hara 3-run home run. Well, you said it, that's well hit. You weren't kidding. And the Spartans turn this one around quickly, 3-1 in favor of Mountain View.
Well, O'Hara trying to do it all here for Mountain View. Pitching himself out of some jams in the early going and now coming up with a real clutch hit here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the replay. Fastball that he just drives to the opposite field, high and deep to right and over the fence for the 3-run homer.
Just a second hit for the Spartans. Both have come in this inning following a walk to Alan Henley to start things off. Let's see how Daniel Chavez responds to this. A ball up high to Rutherford, 1-0.
Well, now Chavez has to show a little bit of poise here and not try to overthrow. A lot of pitchers will try to come back here now and just blow the ball by the next hitter. He's got to stay within himself and just get back into a rhythm.
Well, Rutherford can hit it out too, so you don't want to just come back and try and get ahead of this guy. You want to try and work him and not throw him something too fat. 1-1. Mark O'Hara, a 3-run home run over the right field fence moments ago. Ball 2 to Rutherford, 2-1. Of course, the Spartans seeing him for the second time now going through the lineup. That always makes a difference. There's ball 3. How much can you really learn, though? You always hear people talking about that on baseball telecast, that, the second time, third time through the order, we're going to be able to really get this guy. But, I mean, how much can you really learn in one at-bat against a guy?
Well, a lot of it's just the timing of the pitch, just, what his rhythm is, what his motion is to go ahead and pick up on. Some pitchers have different motions, different speeds with pitches. You get the timing down, and it is a lot easier to go ahead and move the ball.
Well, Rutherford a little bit late on that last one. Full count now. Chavez throws, fouled back. And Rutherford stays alive, 3-2. Danny Vardy on deck, and the Spartans excited. They are ahead 3-1. A Mark O'Hara 3-run home run. The difference here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-2 to Rutherford again, popped up. This one drifts into foul territory. Ben Wilson has it, one away. Ian Rutherford fouls out. And that will bring up Danny Vardy, and that's a big batter there just a second ago for Daniel Chavez. He comes back following the home run and gets an out, gets a little bit of his self-confidence back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Rutherford certainly has the power to drive it out of the park here too, so that's a real big out for Chavez.
Danny Vardy takes one down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Vardy taking that one the whole way, figuring maybe he'll get ahead in the count, that he wouldn't throw him one right down the middle, but he did. 0-1, rolled towards second, and it gets through into right field. A base hit for Danny Vardy. Blaine Johnson unable to make a play on that one. And we'll score it a base hit, third hit of the inning, third hit for Mountain View, period.
There's a nice piece of hitting by Vardy going opposite field. Hits a nice hard ground ball to the right side. Blaine Johnson just can't come up with it. It skips through into right field for the base hit.
AJ Santana's hit a couple out this year on KMVT. This guy has some power, the Mountain View catcher. Danny Vardy on for the second time today. He was thrown out trying to steal after he got on last time. We'll see if McGurk sends him again. Maybe Vardy can get a better jump. First pitch doesn't go, and it's a strike, 0-1 on AJ Santana. AJ bounded back to the mound, ending the second inning. Mountain View dugout fired up here this afternoon. The ball up high to Santana, 1-1.
That was almost a pitch out, it looked like, from Chavez. Wingate came wide and outside on that pitch.
Maybe guessing Vardy was going to run.
Might be guessing on that, yeah. He's got a nice slide step to the plate. At least on that one, it was a nice slide step by him. Didn't have much leg lift at all. Came straight into the plate, hoping to get him.
There's a foul straight back, 1-2. McGurk this year, of course, assisted by Pete Gonzalez and David Santana. They go out there and help out with some of the base coaching duties. 1-2 on AJ Santana. Los Altos outfield fairly deep. Even Ricky Pearson in right is playing pretty far back, even though Santana's a right-handed hitter. Quick throw to first, but Vardy is back safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. New ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. Mountain View's erupted for 3 runs on 3 hits. High pop-up, foul territory left side. That one's going to get out of play, away from Casey Lopez.
Lopez goes halfway on his way to the gymnasium to make that catch, but was well out of play. Wasn't going to count even if he'd gotten there.
You know, I always thought if you're able to get to it way off in the stands or whatever, or the second deck, you know,
Just
if
count
you
it.
can get to it, you deserve the out.
I completely agree, Andre. I completely agree.
Runner goes. The pitch is apparently strike 3, but it is dropped by catcher Tino Wingate. Nonetheless, Vardy gets second on a stolen base. Santana is out number 2, and here is Eric Cordero. 3-1 Spartans, and they've got a runner in scoring position, Danny Vardy, with 2 outs. Throw behind the runner. Shortstop Jamie Nolte coming in behind Vardy.
Been very impressed by Chavez with his slide step to the plate. He makes it very difficult for runners to get a jump on him.
A swing and a, well, the runner goes. If that's a foul, he's going to have to go back. I think he got a piece of that.
He did, and they're making Vardy return to second base.
Vardy headed back. Foul by Cordero, 0-1. Eric grounded out to third. His previous time up. Casey Lopez made a good play on that ball. There's a swing and a miss. Cordero down 0-2. This one floats up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That looked like a curveball that just got away from Chavez. It's nowhere near the strike zone.
Chavez trying to get out of this inning right now. Doesn't with that pitch. 2-2. Ryan McCarthy would be next. But the Eagles out on the field for the longest time of any inning today. First 3 innings went by real quick for them. A called strike 3, another strikeout for Daniel Chavez. That is his 4th. Second time he's got somebody looking. But a big home run by Mark O'Hara, part of 3 hits in a 3-run inning. End of 4 at Mountain View High School. The Spartans now lead it 3-1. Well, there's our view of the sky this afternoon at Mountain View High School. Andre Polizzi along with Paul Cunningham, our producer-director Lazarus Sargentidis, and thanks to our whole host of wonderful camera people and technical people helping out with the broadcast this afternoon from Mountain View High School. A ground ball to short, and it rolls right through the legs of Chris Ashley for an inning opening reach on an error by Dino Quintero. Well, Chris Ashley, you don't see too many of those just go right between his legs, but hey, this is why they play the games.
And there's a replay. Quintero first pitch swinging, and it's right through the wickets into left field for an error on Ashley. And you're right. Sometimes those balls hit right at you are the toughest ones to field.
Did want to also say thanks to Barbara Kaufman and Monica Lodge, the athletic directors at Los Altos and Mountain View, respectively. Especially Barbara today for letting us be out here to bring you El Camino Division baseball. Almost said basketball. Not in this weather.
Nope, never happened.
All right, Victor Abruzzo up. Runner fakes, does not go. And a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Abruzzo today has scored the only Eagle run, the one that had them up 1-0 for 3.5 innings. He's also lined out to shortstop. Dino Quintero jumping out to a pretty good size lead, and Mark O'Hara will drive him back with a toss over. Quintero on an inning opening error by Chris Ashley. And the Eagles trying to capitalize on this. Inside, 1-1. Jamie Nolte next, Casey Lopez after that. Eagles out hitting the Spartans 5-3. Runner goes, but he is going to get back after this foul pop-up. Abruzzo fouling out to first baseman Ian Rutherford, and Quintero, who had a pretty good jump, had to scramble to get back, but he made it safely.
Well, and that's a nice play by Rutherford. It's one play, though, where O'Hara has to have the confidence in his first baseman, and he's got to get back over there and cover first base in case you have a shot at the double play.
1 out, 1 on. Jamie Nolte up, 0 for 2. Runner fakes, does not go. Ball in the dirt, 1-0 on Jamie Nolte.
On that pitch, O'Hara was a little bothered by the runner. You could see him out of the corner of his eye checking on Quintero as he was going to the plate. So Quintero now has O'Hara's attention, and you still got to go ahead and throw some strikes here to the batter because you don't want to put too many guys on base with Casey Lopez on deck.
I wonder if Dino's ever raised his sisters.
I'm sure. Probably to the dinner table.
I mean, just out in the, out on the grass in the backyard or something, just to see who's the fastest. Well, we're going to see Dino Quintero speed right here as he gets a chance to run down to second base following the error on Mark O'Hara, throwing that one where the runner was, and Ian Rutherford couldn't get over there to stop it from going over the sliding back Quintero.
Well, you know, I don't know if we caught that or not, Andre, but Quintero was actually checking his feet out on that throw over and got a very late jump on getting back to first base, and consequently hit Rutherford's glove as he was going back into first base, and that caused the ball to get by him. If Quintero had been paying attention, that ball probably wouldn't have gotten past Rutherford.
So it actually worked in his favor.
Absolutely.
How do you like that? Ball 2 on Jamie Nolte, 2-0. Well, Los Altos, a chance to pick up one of those 3 runs back. There you see the line score. 2-0 on Nolte. That one a little bit outside. 3-0. 1 out, top of the 5th. And the Eagles down by 2. Up high, ball 4. So Jamie Nolte works a walk. That is just the second one allowed by O'Hara. The Eagles doing it by hook and crook so far here in the 5th. A walk and 2 errors. Have runners at first and second. 1 out for Casey Lopez. Big bombers coming up. Lopez and Corey back to back. Mountain View would love a double play right here and get out of the inning. Lopez 1 for 2. Takes a strike, 0-1. Lopez singled in the only Eagle run so far. He's also grounded out to third. Lopez the kind of hitter that can hit into a double play. He's got decent speed, but if he hits it on the ground, he hits it right at people usually. This time he's going to get hit by the ball instead, and the bases are loaded as Casey Lopez takes one up in the upper part of the body.
Well, and that's one way to avoid pitching to Lopez. Obviously not what O'Hara wanted to do. You certainly don't want to go ahead and load up the bases. The number 4 hitter, Corey, coming up. I mean, he's DHing for a reason. That's because he could swing the bat. Here's the replay. Artist comes inside and plunks Lopez on the left shoulder. He trots on down to first. He's fine. That loads up the bases.
Yes, that was not part of the plan. Bases full of Eagles. Grant Corey due up. A double and a ground out to third on Corey's stat sheet today. And a chance to get the Eagles anywhere from within 1 run to up as much as 2 runs if the best scenario comes along and Corey hits 1 out. A strike. O'Hara comes right after him, 0-1. O'Hara coming right after the hitter after hitting the last batter. 3-1. Spartans on top. Floater and a good curveball by O'Hara that time had Corey out in front. 0-2 now the count.
Well, you're absolutely right, Andre. He got him to fish for one there out of the strike zone. Allows him to jump ahead 0-2.
Big pitch right here for O'Hara if he can get an out. He gets a pop-up behind home plate. No infield fly rule. This is in foul territory. And A.J. Santana grabs it anyway. Out number 2. Big pitch by Mark O'Hara. Big at bat by O'Hara to shut down Grant Corey and get the foul out.
Well, that was huge by Mark to go ahead and make a pitch like that in that situation. A real nice job by A.J. Santana playing that pop-up, too. It's a tough day to be catching pop-ups on. He did a real nice job getting himself underneath it.
And you're behind that plate. You're pretty much all alone. Well, Wilson may get him out of the inning. He grounds out, and the Spartans avoid the bases loaded 1 out situation. Ben Wilson out, 6-3. Paul Cunningham's going off to coach some baseball, doing some Babe Ruth tonight, right?
Absolutely, Andre. Got to run to practice right now.
All right, Paul, thanks for joining us, and we'll give you the totals when we come back. In the middle of the 5th, it's 3-1 Mountain View. Mark O'Hara pitches out of a jam in the top of the 5th inning. Bases loaded and 1 out. He gets Grant Curry to foul out, Ben Wilson to ground out. No runs, no hits, 2 Mountain View errors, 1 by O'Hara himself, and 3 runners left on base. That could be a key. Mountain View has stranded 7 Eagles now on the bases. Ryan McCarthy leading things off as the Spartans look to get some more runs. And a foul back, 0-1. McCarthy grounded out to third. He's only batted once so far this game. Chris Ashley has as well, and he'll be up next. And then the top of the order, which produced a 3-run rally in the fourth. One and one on McCarthy. On the inside corner to Ryan, 1 and 2. Daniel Chavez battling after the home run by O'Hara. Came back and got Rutherford, Santana, and Cordero. And he gets Ryan McCarthy here for strikeout number 5. Gets Ryan on strikes. And that will bring up Chris Ashley. Ashley flied out to right field his first time up. Chris fouls one back. And it is 0-1. Los Altos, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, 7 runners left. And Mountain View with an interesting line, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, just 1 man left on base. But they are ahead in the most important of those columns, the run column. Foul ball down the line, Ashley behind 0-2. O'Hara with a home run today. He had 2 home runs in the earlier meeting between these two teams. Matter of fact, there were numerous home runs hit in that game back last month, which Mountain View won 16-14, a different game from today's pitchers duel. Casey Lopez had one for Los Altos. AJ Santana had one for Mountain View to go with O'Hara's 2. Michael Caldwell also had a couple hits. Ball outside, Ashley's count now 2-2. Grant Curry also had a couple hits for Los Altos. Chris Ehlers of Mountain View was the winning pitcher, and he had 4 hits. Big game for Chris Ehlers that day, not in the starting lineup today for MV. Ground ball to shortstop. Jamie Nolte across the diamond, and he retires his counterpart Chris Ashley. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order now, and Alan Henley. Henley walked against Chavez in the 4th. Then he went to second on a single by Richter, and they both scored on a 3-run blast by Mark O'Hara, which is the difference in the game right now. A ball low to Alan Henley, 1-0. Lopez and Nolte each had 3 hits in that game against Mountain View. Ball low to Henley, 2-0, he's ahead. All 5 of Mountain View's wins this year coming in league, 5-5 in league play, 5-8 overall. Strike at the knees. Henley's count now 2-1. Both starting pitchers still in there. Daniel Chavez for Los Altos. Mark O'Hara has already thrown 5 for Mountain View. Inside almost got Henley, 3-1 now. Mountain View with 1 sophomore on their roster. There is ball 4, and Henley draws another walk. He's drawn both of the walks allowed by Daniel Chavez. Here's James Richter, the 3rd baseman. He singled in front of that O'Hara 3-run homer. Try and set the table for O'Hara again. Henley off first, does not go, ball low, 1-0. 6 of the Spartans will be back next year: Ashley, Henley, McCarthy, Richter, Ehlers, and Caldwell. Everybody else except for them and Hansen is a senior. Ball 2 to JR. 2 balls and no strikes. Those guys that are playing their senior season include Corpus, Duke Meek, Jason Bull, Eric Cordero, Santana, O'Hara, Vardy. There's a swing and a miss. 1-1 now the count. And there is Mark O'Hara, who hit the 3-run home run his last time up, and is one of those seniors whose graduation is not too far away. Also Ian Rutherford and Colin Aston. Swing and a miss, and the throw to second is not in time. Henley steals it. 2-2 on Richter now. Second successful stolen base for the Spartans in 3 attempts today. Richter didn't mean to, he fouls it right side. Excuse me, swing that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes on James Richter. Bottom of inning number 5. Spartans looking to add to a 2-run lead. Another foul by Richter, back-to-back fouls. Battling with a count of 0-2. The Eagles, a nice mix of seniors and juniors, just like Mountain View. And they also have only 1 sophomore. Ball 3 up high. So James Richter has battled the count to a full count. Mountain View dugout fired up. 3-2 to Richter inside. Ball 4. Well, Chavez may be getting a little tired. That is his 3rd walk. There's Daniel. That will bring up Mark O'Hara. O'Hara has allowed 1 run on 5 hits. He's been in trouble numerous times today on the mound, but has gotten out of all jams, allowing just 1 run. And he has a 3-run home run his last time up. He's also grounded out to second. Mark O'Hara looking to give Mountain View some more breathing room. Right now they have a 2-run lead. That would be helping himself since he's pitching, of course. Chavez throws a fastball right down the middle at the knees. 0-1 on O'Hara. O'Hara hit the first pitch for that home run. This time he took the first pitch. Ball bounces up to home plate. Runners are not able to move up. Didn't get away far enough from catcher Tino Wingate. Wingate pounced on it pretty quickly. 1-1 now on O'Hara. Wingate, one of 7 juniors on the Los Altos club, along with Dino Quintero, Jeff Ayagi, Jamie Nolte, Blaine Johnson, Tino, of course, Adam Hopkins, and Daniel Parker. The sophomore is Eric Martinez. The rest are seniors. 1-1. Line just foul outside of third. O'Hara almost had himself a 2-run double. Those guys who will be graduating next month include Victor Ambruzzo, Casey Lopez, Julian Arango, Ricky Pearson, Clay Armistead, Ryan Genneman, Ben Wilson, Danny Chavez, Jeremy Scheel and Grant Curry. Mark O'Hara with a count of 1-2. Trying to get himself a couple more runs. He's a little bit late on this one. He fouls it back. Well, last time that Chavez got himself in this jam was last inning. He walked Henley. He gave up a hit to Richter, and then O'Hara a 3-run blast. This time he walked Henley. Richter also walked. And he's facing O'Hara again. Let's see how this battle turns out. 1-2. Inside, 2-2. So the issue not settled yet. Ian Rutherford would hit next if this inning continues. The 2-2 pitch. O'Hara goes after a high fastball, ground ball, left field base hit. Here comes Henley. He scores, and Mountain View leads it 4-1. Mark O'Hara with his second hit, Mountain View's fourth, and O'Hara has all 4 runs batted in. There you see a nice dive by Jamie Nolte, but just past him. And Henley with that good speed in the leadoff spot, scoring easily. 4-1 Mountain View. First hit of the inning for the Spartans, their 4th of the game. Half of those by pitcher Mark O'Hara. Rutherford with a count of 1-0. He has flied to left and fouled out to first. Wild pitch, gets away, and both runners will move up. Chavez uncorked that one. 2-0 on Ian Rutherford. No one warming up for Sandy Woodall behind the Los Altos dugout, and now they're going to intentionally walk Ian Rutherford. And of course, as you know, in high school baseball, if you just say we want to intentionally walk the guy, they pass him to first without throwing those last 2 or however many balls you need. Danny Vardy up with the bases loaded. Mountain View a chance to break this one open right now. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Vardy's been on twice. He was hit by a pitch in the second. He singled in the 4th. Mountain View sent just 9 men to the plate in the first 3 innings. They've sent a combined 14 in the last 2. Foul ball by Vardy, trying to plant it down the right field line. It's 0-2 now. Well, Chavez 1 strike away from getting out of this jam, with only 1 run more scathed against him. Three walks in the inning, one of them half intentional. Hey, I've really hurt Daniel Chavez. Danny Vardy trying to put the big hurt on him. 0-2 in the dirt, ball 1. Well, this is the man Chavez wants to get if he can get him. A.J. Santana due up next. The 1-2 in the dirt. Runner not coming. Wingate gets to it. And it's 2-2. It's not often you'll see a base runner take off from third on a wild pitch at this particular high school, because the backstop is so close, you can usually get a good bounce back to the catcher and get it out at the plate. Up high, ball 3. So the runners will get a jogging start with 2 outs. Well, he had him 0-2. It's back to 3-2 now. Vardy calls time before the next pitch. Vardy could break this one wide open with a hit. Runners with a jogging start, 3-2, fouled away. We'll replay that. Vardy protecting with 2 strikes. Kind of put a half-hearted swing on that one, but he knew he had to get a piece of it, foul it away to stay alive. Chavez not having the best of composure right now. He needs to settle down and get it out. 3-2 again. Popped up. It's going to be a long run for the first baseman, but it's in foul territory and nobody's going to get to it. We'll do it all over again. That one well out of the reach of Ben Wilson, the first baseman. Bases full, count full. Score 4-1 Spartans, bottom of the 5th. Chavez for the full windup, 3-2 again, fouled away. 3 straight foul-offs on the 3-2 pitch, a tight battle between Chavez and Vardy. A.J. Santana pacing back and forth in the on-deck circle, hoping he gets a chance, which means Vardy has successfully reached base. 3-2 again. Strike 3 called, just barely caught the outside corner. A very close pitch, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 6 for pitcher Daniel Chavez. In the inning, though, they do get a hit and a run, but they leave the bases loaded, and Los Altos stays within striking distance at the end of 5. Mountain View now leading 4-1. This area of Santa Clara County, always a very beautiful place. One of the network stations in the area calls it the best place in the world to live, and some of the best people in the world enjoying our telecast this afternoon from Mountain View High School. A swing and a miss by Ricky Pearson starting off the 6th, 0-1. New right fielder for the Spartans as Michael Caldwell takes over in right field for Ryan McCarthy. A swing and a miss, 0-2 now on Pearson. Mark O'Hara trying to get 6 more outs and leave this one with a victory. He is responsible for driving in all 4 runs, and there is one of the 6 outs he needs, a strikeout of Ricky Pearson. That is only the 3rd strikeout for O'Hara, who's had much better strikeout games, but I'm sure he will trade most of those in to get a win, and he's got the chance to do that today. He's 5 outs away. 1 out here in the 6th, and here is Tino Wingate, the catcher. The rest of the Mountain View defense remains the same. The only change, Caldwell in right. Ground ball fair inside of 3rd. A long throw is not going to be in time. Very tough scoring decision on that one. It was hit just inside the bag, and Richter did his best to make a play on that, so here's another look at it. Well, Richter tried to make the backhand play. Would have been very tough and very close at first anyway, so we will give a base hit to Wingate. Runner goes. First pitch is high, throw to second, swipe tag missed by Martin Corpez. And Tino Wingate on second now with a stolen base. Well, the throw was there in plenty of time, but it was off the line, and Corpez off the bag to make a swipe tag, just missed. 1-0 now on Blaine Johnson, who is 0 for 2. Inside and high, 2-0. A.J. Santana going out to the mound, talked briefly with O'Hara.
O'Hara in a good position right now. He's got a 3-run lead, 1 out in the 6th. And he's been the star today, a 3-run home run. He's also driven in the other Spartan run. Johnson ahead 2-0. Los Altos down by 3. There's a strike, 2-1. Inside, almost nipped Johnson. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls, 1 strike. Runner off second. There's a high fly ball, shallow left field down the line. Vardy is there, he's got it, 2 away. Danny Vardy staying with that one the whole way. 2 outs now. And that will bring up Dino Quintero. Dino's been on base twice. He reached on error. He's also singled. That would make Papa Bernie proud. And as a matter of fact, the patriarch of the Quintero clan is here. He is standing outside the Los Altos dugout behind the fence. There is a strike on Quintero, 0-1. Surprised Bernie's not at a softball game. It's that time of year. You figure he'd have at least one every afternoon to attend to, whether it's his daughters or one of his teams. But Bernie does get out to see his son every once in a while, too. Fly ball to center, and it's going to drop. It dropped right in front of Henley and right behind Chris Ashley, and Los Altos gets a bloop single from Dino Quintero, and the Eagles creep to within 4-2. Here's another look. 3 fielders converge on it. This looks like it's Henley's ball all the way because he has to call off Ashley. The old rule is you keep going after it in Chris Ashley's case until Henley calls you off. Henley obviously never called him off and never took charge of that play. Base hit and RBI for Quintero. Dino's 2nd hit, 6th hit for Los Altos. It's now 4-2 and the tying run comes to the plate. Here's Vic Ambruzzo. Well, Dino got on an error last time. He gets on a hit that shouldn't have been this time. Ball inside to Ambruzzo, 1-0. Well, O'Hara needs just 1 out to get out of the 6th and let his teammates come back up to hit again. O'Hara looking back the runner. Ball up high and inside to Ambruzzo, 2-0. Well, what O'Hara doesn't want to do here is he doesn't want to walk the potential tying run on base, especially with the 2, 3, and 4 spots coming up. Nolte, Lopez, and Corey next in the order. A double, a single, and 2 base reaches in that group. 4 base reaches out of 9. Inside, 3-0. Well, we saw Chavez bear down. O'Hara's bared down a couple times today and gotten out of jams. Let's see if he can finish off this Eagle little, we don't want to really call it a fire because they haven't done that much yet. They have gotten 1 run, but little brush fire. Now it's starting to smolder a little. There is ball 4. Ambruzzo reaches. That is the 3rd walk allowed, and here comes Jim McGurk. Let's see if he's going to let Mark O'Hara pitch out of this one himself. He's not going to. He's going to make a change. So we'll have a pitching change here in the top of the 6th inning. Mark O'Hara pitches very well today, and he will leave with a chance to do at least have a chance to get a win if his teammates can finish this one off for him. We'll check who the new pitcher is, and we'll continue with this one. 4-2 in the top of the 6th, and you're watching El Camino Division Baseball exclusively here on KMVT. Well, when these two teams met earlier this year, it was a 16-14 shootout. Today it's been more controlled on the pitcher's part, 4-2. Mountain View leading, and Jason Bull in to try and get the Spartans out of this 6th inning jam. Mark O'Hara pitching very well today, but he leaves with the tying runs on. 2 outs though. Let's see if Bull can get one this inning. First pitch is inside, goes back to the screen, and the runners move up. So Bull's first pitch is a wild pitch, but it won't hurt him if he gets this batter. The batter is Jamie Nolte, by the way. Ambruzzo now at second, and Quintero now at third. Spartans need just 1 out to get out of the 6th inning here. We'll give you Mark O'Hara's line in a moment. Fly ball, left field line. That's going to drop foul out of play, though. Vardy couldn't run it down. It landed too quickly. That one just died on him out there, and it is now a count of 1-1. Okay, keep in mind here that O'Hara is still responsible for the 2 runners on base. 5 2/3 innings. So far, 2 runs, both earned, 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch. A ball low to Nolte, 2-1. Keep in mind also that O'Hara is still eligible to re-enter and hit, should that come to pass with the high school re-entry rule. There is ball 3, and Bull behind Jamie Nolte 3-1 with the number 3 hitter Casey Lopez up next. Lopez had a big game the first time these two teams met. You don't really want to see him here if you're a Mountain View fan. Strike 2 on the outside corner, full count. Ground ball to short. Ashley, a chance to make up for that error. He helps get the Spartans out of the inning. Chris Ashley guns down Jamie Nolte on a 6-3 play, but Los Altos gets one of the runs back. They get 1 hit, and they leave 2. Middle of the 6th, Spartans 4, Eagles 2. Well, Daniel Chavez still in there, and this gentleman getting a little reading done between innings. He'll turn his attention back to the field right now as A.J. Santana steps in. Spartans looking for a couple more insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th as Santana takes a strike 0-1. Santana has not reached base today. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball, medium deep left field, but right at Victor Ambruzzo, he has it 1 out. So not AJ's best hitting day. He is 0 for 3, but he'll take that if he can get the win. And Los Altos has only 3 outs left to work with when they bat in the top of the 7th, down by 2. Here's Eric Cordero. Up high, 1-0. Eric also 0 for 2. As is Chris Ashley, who's 2 batters away. There's a foul up out of play. 1-1 now on Cordero. Michael Caldwell scheduled to hit next in the Ryan McCarthy spot. Foul straight back. 1-2. Glad to have you all along this afternoon for this El Camino Division baseball contest. Andre Polizzi with our producer-director Lazarus Sargentidis. Thanks to Paul Cunningham for stopping by for the first 4.5 innings for some insight. Coach went off to coach. Ball 2 to Cordero, 2-2. Thanks to Wendy, Rodrigo, and all our camera people, by the way. A ground ball down the right field line, a base hit. That one kind of died out there though, so Cordero can only reach first. So Cordero on with the 5th Spartan hit, and as you see there, just inside the line, dying out there in the grass. And we're going to get a pinch runner for the Spartans. That is Colin Aston coming in to run for Cordero. So Colin Aston on first. And here is Mike Caldwell. Well, let's see, who did I mention today? I mentioned Wendy and Rodrigo. Thanks also to Roger, our other camera person today. Good job with the shots this afternoon for those guys. And of course, thanks to our technical people, and thanks to Monica Lodge of Los Altos and Barbara Kaufman of Mountain View. A ball to Michael Caldwell, 1-0. Caldwell's first at bat today came in to play defense in the top of the 6th. There you see the line score, 5 hits now for Mountain View. Chavez from the stretch. Throws in the dirt. And it's 2-0. Caldwell, a junior. You know he'll be carrying the football a lot this fall. 2-0. That is low ball 3. Aston not able to get a jump off of first and take advantage of that pitch as it got away from catcher Tino Wingate. 3-0 now on Caldwell. Spartans looking for a couple extra runs. They've got a 2-run lead, but that's not the safest lead in the world, especially in high school ball. Here's ball 4. Well, here comes Sandy Whittle. This may be all for Daniel Chavez, but let's take a look and see if we're going to actually make the change. And we are going to make the change. We're going to have a new pitcher for Los Altos here in the bottom of the 6th as the Eagles try and keep the deficit they have at 2 runs. Adam Hopkins is going to come in and try and get out of this jam for the Eagles. So we have a break in the action. Adam Hopkins is going to warm up. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here on KMVT. The Eagles trailing the Spartans 4-2. The Eagles have a new pitcher, and you're watching exclusive high school El Camino Division baseball here on KMVT. Well, one person we didn't say thanks to in our thanking of the crew today and athletic directors, apparently we didn't say thanks to Mother Nature. Mother Nature has held up her end of the bargain and let us get this game in today, so thanks to him, her, or it. Chris Ashley up against new pitcher Adam Hopkins, and a strike to start off Chris Ashley, 0-1. Bottom of the 6th here at Mountain View High School. The Spartans a 2-run lead, looking for more, 4-2, 1 out. Runners on first and second. And that runner on second, Colin Aston, sliding back in as Hopkins made a throw. Well, if the Spartans could get at least one more run here, they'll have another couple feathers in their cushion as we head to the 7th. 1-1 now on Ashley. Chris has flied to right and grounded to shortstop. A fly ball shallow left, and coming all the way in from deep left, Victor Abruzzo makes the catch. Good running play by Abruzzo for out number 2 here in the 6th, and it'll be up to Alan Henley. Well, Henley's done well today. 2 walks, 2 runs scored. And he can really help the Spartans here if he can pick up some RBIs. O'Hara has all 4 of those. There's a drive, left center field, falls in, and Abruzzo quickly up with it. Throw to the infield is loose. The Spartans get another run, and it is 5-2. RBI single for Alan Henley, the 2nd hit of the inning, the 6th of the afternoon. Here's another look at a piece of hitting by Alan Henley right into left center field. Abruzzo got to it quickly, but his throw not the best that we've seen from Victor. And Henley driving in the run easily as Cordero scored from second. Or rather, the pinch runner Aston. A ball up high to James Richter, 1-0. Richter has walked and singled and scored a run. Pitch at the knees, 1-1. That run is charged to Daniel Chavez. That's the 5th run against him. All 5 earned. A ball outside. And it is 2-1. We'll give you Chavez's final line in just a minute. It's not quite complete, but we have most of the numbers. There's a swing and a miss by Richter, 2-2. Either Mark O'Hara or Jason Bull will hit next if Chavez cannot get out of the inning here. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Spartans with a chance to really put the pace to Los Altos, but they're not going to be able to do it. Strike 3 called. Richter down looking, 2nd time he's gone down today, but the Spartans add a run. They leave 2 runners on base. They get 2 hits in the inning. As we go to the 7th, the Spartans in position to get 3 outs. With a 3-run lead, they'll win the game. Well, the Eagles down to their last set of outs. Casey Lopez, Grant Curry, Brent Wilson due up against Jason Bull looking for the save. Mark O'Hara pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit batter, and he's in line to win this one. A strike to Lopez, 0-1. Jason Bull trying to finish it off. Needs 3 outs. Lopez, 1 for 2, was also reached after being hit by a pitch. There's a ball, 1-1. Final line on Chavez, 5 1/3 innings, 5 runs all earned, 5 hits. AC strike 2. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 1 hit batter for Chavez. He stands to lose this one if the Eagles cannot rally. Bouncer back to the mound. Bull has it, throws to first. Jason Bull was ready for that one. He snagged it and threw out Lopez, 1 away. Here's another look at this one. Jason Bull came off the mound in good position after he pitched that ball. He was ready to defend that one, coming right back on him on 1 hop. Here is Grant Curry, the designated hitter. He is 1 for 3 today. He has a double. Ground ball over Richter's head, a hard hop, and a base hit for Grant Curry. Well, with the Spartans getting that run in the bottom of the 6th, the tying run will not come to the plate here. But Ben Wilson will come up with a chance to help get something really going for the Eagles, who are down to their last 2 outs. Wilson today, 0 for 3. High and inside to Ben Wilson, 1-0. Assuming no disasters, the Spartans will improve to 6-8 overall, 6-5 in league. All 6 of their wins coming in league play, as you may have guessed. And assuming no comeback, the Eagles will drop to 10-8, 4-7. Still the business at hand, 2 more outs needed. A strike to Wilson, 1-1. When Jason Bull has pitched this year, it's been more in the relief role. Here's a ground ball to second. Corpus handles the tough hop to second for 1, to first, not in time. Ben Wilson barely beat the throw, and the Eagles are still alive on the fielder's choice. First out went 4-6. Eagles down to their final out, and here is Ricky Pearson. Well, Mountain View 1 out away from winning their 6th game of the year and moving above 500 in the conference. Swing and a miss by Pearson, 0-1. Jason Bull has looked good in his 1 inning of work. This would be 1 1/3 for the save if he gets Pearson here. Strike 2. Pearson 1 hit and 3 at-bats today. He's struck out twice. Jason Bull throws and a grounder to shortstop. 2 hops, throw. Chris Ashley ends this one on a throw to first. The Spartans win the ball game today by a score of 5-2. The final totals in the game for the Spartans: 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 6 runners left on base. Los Altos 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 10 runners left on base. The Eagles dropped to 10-8 overall, 4-7 in the conference, the El Camino division of the Santa Clara Valley, and the Spartans improved to 6-8, 6-5 in the El Camino division of the Santa Clara Valley Conference. Good game here this afternoon. Good pitchers duel. Mark O'Hara wins it. Daniel Chavez takes the loss. Thanks to our whole crew, led by Roger Tiger Woods on the cameras and Yolanda Harmon, our technical director. Our producer director, as always, Lazarus Sargentidis. For everyone with the KMVT crew, including Paul Cunningham, the coach, this is Andre Polizzi. Thanks for joining us. This has been an exclusive El Camino Baseball Division game on KMVT.